So let us understand what is waterfall model. So basically this is one of the oldest development model, which is almost in 1960s. This waterfall model came into existence. So basically the waterfall model is like a kind of a water is flowing from one end to another end. You can plan everything in the beginning and you can keep moving and completing each and every task in a sequential manner and complete the development. Then you deploy into the customer, right? And after that you will be maintaining that product. So waterfall model is goes in a very sequential fashion. If you can see here, right, the waterfall model is a completely a sequential model. It is going to start with the requirement analysis where all the requirements for a given products to be developed or services to be developed is clearly documented and clearly understood to everyone and everybody in the same page. Once the requirement is done, then we are moving into the design phase. Once all low level designs, high level designs, everything is done, then we'll be moving to the development. That's where the coding will happen. When the coding does happen, then the next step is testing. Then once the testing is done, it will be deployed into the customer environment. Then followed by the maintenance of that service or a product in the client environment. So these are the straightforward phases. These are the straightforward phases in the waterfall model where it covers everything in a sequential manner. Normally, this kind of model normally will be taking around 3 to 12 months of entire life cycle. If anything which you wanted to deliver less than a 3 months, then this is not appropriate. Normally, in ideal situation, this would be done with 3 to 12 months of timeline. Sometime even I have seen in my experience, it can go to 3 years or 4 years as well, right? It depends on what kind of project is that. So normally, on average, 1 to 2 years is the ideal time where waterfall model being implemented. The main advantages of waterfall model here is, so if we can talk about advantage, what are the pros of the waterfall model is, so we will be starting the project once all the requirements are getting clarified and documented. That is the one best advantage of waterfall model. And also it is very easy to use because everybody will have in the same page, everybody will have a clear understanding. So that is a very good aspects of waterfall model, and as well as it is very easy to manage the show as well because we know everything, then only we start. If you do not know, then we'll keep waiting, right? That is a model. Normally waterfall model is going to work. So maintenance of the project is also become very easy and it is not much challenges. And whatever the timeline which we are talking about, 3 to 12 months or whatever the timelines, right, which we are going to project for a given product development or a service development. Normally, most of the time using waterfall model, these deadlines were easily met, right? Deadlines were easily met during waterfall model. So normally the waterfall model is suitable for a bigger team size. So waterfall models are normally which is implemented for bigger teams, and also lot of documentation is also involved in the waterfall model. So that is main advantages of waterfall model. Let us think about what are the cons. So what are the cons of waterfall model? The main problem with the waterfall model here is the cost of the waterfall model is very high. It is very high, I can say, because things are getting changed every minute and seconds. Then the waterfall is not at all beneficial because it has to be, again, we have to start from the beginning. Right? That is become a big risk to the client, and also client won't be having any idea until the project is delivered, right? Completely, when it has been given to deployment, the client won't be having any clear picture what is actually this team is really doing it. That is also a big challenge to the clients. And also it is this waterfall model is completely a risky event because we don't know where things will fail. Again, if something, if let's say if something is fails in development, then again we will have to start from the beginning to have a clarity. Then again development, testing, all those things. So then the cost is becomes very huge factor here. So normally waterfall model will be used when you have a sufficient window for development or the project, and normally let's say if you have enough time, 2 to 3 years of time to implement a given product, then definitely waterfall time. But these days waterfall model is nobody being used. So I am hoping till now you got a clear idea what is all about waterfall model, what are the various things which are there in the waterfall model, what are the advantages and disadvantages of waterfall model. So let us move on to understand the next set of model here is V model. So what is V model? So if you can see here, right, the picture, it says this is V-shaped model. So basically this is an improvement version of waterfall model. Waterfall model normally goes in a very sequential manner, but here there are few things goes in parallel. If you can see here, right, there are few things which goes in parallel where requirement analysis is also going to be parallel with acceptance testing. System designs are going with parallel with system testing. Architectures are going in parallel with integration testing. Model testings are also going with a parallel with unit testing. And the coding is a common event for a V and V model. That means here also the things are going as a sequential, if you can see here, right? It is going in a sequential requirement analysis, then design, architecture design, model design, then coding, then unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. Now, the only thing here is V and V model is nothing but verification and validation model. Basically, whenever something is getting built, there is also another team is also getting prepared themselves. This is the other side. So let me explain what is the different phases of V and V model here. The requirement analysis phase. So this is the one of the important phase where there is a communication between the end user and to the business team, where what is required to be developed in this project, and all the information clarity, everything will be taken up in this phase and it is getting documented properly. In the system design phase, where you will be creating a documentation, especially design perspective, right, where you will be creating a detailed documentation. So the next step is architecture design. So architecture design here is we are more focusing on breaking down the system design into further lower level where we call it as a low level designs, right? Then there is also called as a modular design. Basically we are further breaking down into the lower level. We call it as a modules. So that can be developed individual teams very easily. So the next phase is coding phase. In coding phase, so basically developers will be validating all the requirements here and they'll try to code the things irrespective whatever the languages which your team is going to select. And the next one is unit testing. In the unit testing, basically here this is a validation stage. If you can see here, right, this is verification and this is validation. Hence, that is called as a verification and validation V&V model. Then in the unit testing, the code is being tested. Whatever the code which developers has been written, that is being tested by use of programming languages, and ensure that whatever the code has been written, it is having enough test in the form of unit test cases. And developers will be normally writing this unit test, and you would be ensuring that whatever it has been written, it is been without errors. So next one is integration testing. So basically here we will be testing when the multiple modules were integrated, when multiple modules are integrated, how it is really behaving. So how it is really behaving, whether everything is getting synchronized or not, everything will be tested in the integration testing. The next step of verification will be done is system testing. Here, basically system testing, we are also validating from given one X component, X application with the Y another systems. Let's say this is one system and there is also another Y system which is an external system, and we are trying to connect to this. Let's say we talk about databases, we talk of application server or web server, right? How it is going to connect to these different uh, systems also will be tested. Then the final is acceptance testing. So basically this acceptance testing will be done by end user or a business analyst, just to ensure that everything whatever been implemented, whatever based on the requirements is really implemented or not, that everything will getting validated in the acceptance testing. Let us understand what are the advantages of V model. So basically, V model involves a lot of planning, right? The entire things we can plan very effectively, because we won't be starting unless the way waterfall model works, right? Where everything clearly we talked in the requirements, then because all the feedbacks coming from the end users, so that is the one aspects. And also you can also meet all the deadlines which we are committing in the V model, because here also we get enough times, because we have two teams, verification and validation teams, and ensure that we can meet everything in times, and estimations, everything you can meet very easily. And again, V and V model, which is normally suited for very big teams. This model is not suitable for very small teams.